are not responsible for any losses you may accrue for having weak hands. Where the haters at? Y'all bitches still ain't showed up. And now, right, we got Hex. Flawless uptime. People thought this was a joke. Now they're mad at the chart. It's lullaby music, really, right? It's hard to believe that something like this exists. I get it, but you just gotta come to terms with reality. It just exists. Nothing we can do about it. Buy, steak, and chill, baby. Shout out to Marketable Thoughts. You can't get this kind of shit for free anywhere else. It's very important to understand that. And we're handing it out. People thought this was a joke. Now they're mad at the chart. So much luck, once again, because the facts don't give a fuck. Peace. This is Whales Only. Glad you guys can make it out. I'm making some claims that are pretty outlandish, but I can back them up. Boom. End of story. There is no other crypto out there, so don't get it twisted. If you don't understand where you're parking your money, you're gonna pay the consequences for that, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Boom. We're obliterating everybody, literally. There is nobody else that comes close to what Hex has done. Boom. Oh, it's about to get funky. Funkier than you could have ever imagined. You know, Richard Hart is a boss. Hex is literally the best thing on the planet. It's simple mathematics. What's going on, fam? A happy Friday morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever, wherever, to you. So as you guys have seen, things have kind of escalated a bit. And what's interesting is that they're attacking the point of transportation first. So, I don't even know if flights are back up. I haven't really been following that specifically, because my guess is even if they are up, they're not going to tell you yet, because you guys got to understand that the idea is that you start losing your shit no matter what happens. Just remember that. The goal is for you to lose your shit, not think straight, yada yada. You got to always remain in control. No matter what happens, you have to maintain control, because what they don't want you to do, feel, anything is to feel like you are in control. So no matter what happens, internet, no internet, food, no food, maintain control, because if you don't, they win. Because at the end of the day, nothing lasts forever. And, you guys got to realize this is 100 plus years of straight degradation, right? To the point where now we live in a society where all this digital shit has somehow superseded how we used to do everything. And now, anytime there's a hiccup in this digital shit, the world just stops working. All of a sudden, all those old ways look really good. But guess what? We got rid of them for some magical reason, because this digital shit was supposed to never not go down. But as we all know, that's not reality. And, No, fact of the matter is, with all these billions of people that use the internet, the percentage that actually understand how it works is probably less than a tenth of a percent. I'm lying, a hundredth of a percent. So what that means is, whoever controls the bullhorn is going to essentially dictate dictates what happens, and that's what the issue is with the media and social media, and why they keep plugging and unplugging certain swaths on the internet, right? Because they'll say something's down and somehow you'll magically still have access to it. So you got to kind of pay attention to what the headlines say versus what is actually happening. Because, at the end of the day, that's what's going to dictate the flow of bodies and whatever else comes next and stuff like that. So you got to be aware of that nonsense, whether we want to be or not. Because, what you don't want is to be blindsided. That's what you don't want. And that's easy when shit is supposed to go left, right? All you're going to get is blindsided. Doesn't matter what you do or say, because things are supposed to be going left. So that's what you got to keep in the front of your mind. But let's get to this. 'Cause I want to talk about this airline shit. 'Cause this is just very interesting. Because before it would be maybe an airline or two, uh, certain flight routes or whatever. But it was just straight up airlines today. Just like fuck your travel. Fuck whatever you thought you was gonna do. You ain't doing it. And I just thought that was funny because it's very reminiscent of the Rona initiation, where all of a sudden you couldn't travel for no reason. Um, Let me know if you guys can see that. And you guys, we got to be aware of what is going on and why it is going on, right? Um, let's see. Where are we? Okay, so this actually started last night. Um, I don't know if people realize this. Where did I see it? I don't think it was even on disclose. Might have been on the other one, the insider. But we'll look. Either way, um, this is the first big headline on it, and that was at 2:56 a.m. last night Eastern, because I'm in New York. So CrowdStrike is like the firewall for a lot of internet patches, and essentially, like think of it like this: they're like a transformer. They're like a relay point. They keep the connection going, and they keep the connection going for a lot of websites. And apparently, from an enterprise perspective, meaning when it comes to businesses and infrastructure, it caused outages across several states in the U.S. and disruptions in international headlines, banks, and media outlets. So you lost the ability to travel. You lost the ability to use your money. Media outlets are irrelevant already, so that's fine. We're not losing any sleep there. But you lost access to travel, both domestic and international, because these airlines just stopped full throttle, and banking. And the London Stock Exchange. So you lost your ability to transact your value or to liquidate or to acquire. Now, this was reported at 3:04 a.m., so approximately 8 minutes after that 256 reporting. All right, this is when these headlines started rolling in. Major U.S. airlines, including American Airlines, Delta, and United, ground all flights. Berlin Airport announces the suspension of all flights. Spain reports computer incidents at all its airports. So we got two airports saying, well, let me rephrase. You got two countries saying, let me start over. You got a whole country saying no more flying. In the US, the three major airliners are saying no flying. American, Delta, and United. In Germany, Berlin Airport says no more flying. Now, the CEO of this glitch point states it's not a cyber attack, and a fix has been deployed after causing global IT outages. The company's stock, yeah, irrelevant. What time was it? 6 in the morning. Yeah, I just woken up. So, has there been any update on your traveling? Publicly, no. So, given the fact that somehow, even though everything is supposed to be 2024, you got some of the biggest infrastructure in the world running on 1990. So that's the main reason why anytime something happens, everything falls apart. But in reality, that's not really a big deal. What the big deal is the fact that some reason, somehow, the adults, people that came before us, they thought it was smart to get rid of the analog way of doing things. I don't know why, knowing that everything was in 1990 and not in the 2000s. Because they got rid of it after 2000s, not before it. Because when I was growing up, it was still in use. So that's how I know. Flight manifests used to be kept on a clipboard and shit like that on paper, right? Now these motherfuckers are acting like people are illiterate and they can't write. Oh, computers are down. We can't do nothing. Sorry. I mean, we were flying planes in the 50s. This is before the internet. So what happened? I mean, you got to understand when you're getting played. And that's the point of this stream. Now, let's see what the headlines are saying over here. Insider paper. Let's see. Let's just start with the outage. Oh, yeah. And all of a sudden, 100 and we're going to get to it. 100 and what is this, 24? 106 years later. Or, yeah, 106 years later. ICJ, the International Court, acknowledges what Israel did or is doing. I don't even understand what the point of the headline is, but whatever. It's just funny that it took them 106 years to figure it out. Let's see here. Whole lot going on over here. Here we go. Let's see. When did they start reporting? Hong Kong, India, Amsterdam. So, you got to ask yourself what happened that all of a sudden it was okay to just not care about how things used to be done. that now we have to stop living just because computer goes out. What about life before computers? Are we really that incompetent of a species that we can't do both? I don't like to think that's the case. I like to think that this shit is being done on purpose because that would be just very stupid. I mean, look at this shit here. You can't tell me this isn't on purpose. And in the sense that they're filming this and this guy is now doing it on purpose so people can see him doing it. This is in London. I don't know exactly what's going on, but apparently there's some type of Muslim revolt up there in Leeds in the UK and in England. I don't know. But apparently these people also live there. So not sure what the objective is exactly. But good luck to you people over there that seem not to care. I again, I don't know, if this is true or not, but it seems like every year things just keep getting worse in the UK, and it seems to just be specific areas. Because when I went, you couldn't really see it, so you know what that means. In New York, you got gentrification and now degradation. And the gentrification used to only happen in certain areas. But what people didn't understand is that all of New York was going to be made the same. So while certain areas were getting gentrified, quote unquote, all they were really doing was bringing them to average in the sense that people were putting money into these neighborhoods. And that's only because certain people were moving into them. Now, disregard the fact that the people living in certain neighborhoods just don't give a fuck. Let's just talk about the simple fact that politicians are not doing their job, right? Plain and simple. Because people still getting taxed. So why the fuck aren't they putting the money to where it's supposed to be, right? And that's the question that has to be answered. In all instances. So, all right, let's go through these headline sequence and see. Oh, and you guys are seeing how they're setting up Biden for the 25th. Uh, and like I talked about a long time ago, it was either going to be a combination of the 25th and no election or just no election. I see that they're electing to get him out of the way now. Because that's really all this is. Now, who they're going to replace him with, I don't know. Because they don't have anybody. They literally don't have anybody. They don't. So, my guess is Clinton, Michael. Hell, they might even try to run Obama again. Man. They might try to fucking. They might even try to change the laws on the low and just that motherfucking just jump in there again, even though he did his 2 term. Cause why not? Why stop what's been working so far? Doing what you want and then letting the Supreme Court stop you. A year or two later when it doesn't fucking matter. And people think, you know, that they're gonna get some type of solution from the people causing a problem. Like y'all the motherfuckers is funny. All right. 2:26 a.m. was a force report, and this was from Australia. So there you go. There you go. 9/11 in multiple states went out. Let's see here. International airports, banks, media outlets, as we've already seen, connected to Microsoft operating systems, grounded stoppages ordered. What's funny? Everything in the world runs on Microsoft. Like everything. All the infrastructure, all the deep state stuff, right? All the stuff they control. It definitely runs on Microsoft. you will never see that change because that would be them saying like, yeah, we actually want shit to run. Why would they want that? They want to be in control. It's not about quality. I mean, look at these businesses and how they function today. Back in the day, there was such a thing as customer service. Nowadays, there's no such thing. And I'm not even talking about the customer's always right. Fuck that. I don't believe in that. I used to be an employee of a fucking retail store. I know that's not true. I'm talking about simple as do correctly do customer service. Ask a question, get an answer. Got to return something, get the shit returned. Just basic stuff. It's hard to come by that if you don't go to the right places. It's crazy. It used to never be like that. Uh, so these airlines grounded all their flights. Somehow, Israeli military during all of this used a very big drone in Tel Aviv to attack. I don't know. Or maybe they got attacked. I don't know. Somehow that happened when everything else wasn't working. Cool. Let's see here. Issues reported in India as well as Australia, New Zealand. Um, Radio. I don't know why radio is using computers like that, but go figure. Even those people are dumb as a rock. LAX, Berlin, we already saw. UK biggest rail operator facing widespread IT issues. Warns of cancellations. Twitter will not be, I'm never going to call it X, is not and will not be affected by current global outage. Good for y'all. London stock market, all Spanish airports. Amsterdam, Schiphol, I don't know if I said that right, airport. Da, da, da. 3 Indian airlines, Hong Kong airport, some airlines, Ryanair, naturally, says facing disruption. Of course, KLM, one of the worst airlines out there. If you know, you know. Ah. Russian prosecutor seeks 18-year term for U.S. CIA agent. Every time I see this, that's what I read. I don't read U.S. journalists because we all know better. 5 Indian airlines announced for disruptions. Blah, blah, blah. Delhi Airport, Zurich Airport in Switzerland. Oh, of course. France chimes in with no evidence of global IT outages, a cyber attack. Sure. China state media says flights at Beijing airport unaffected. They must run Linux. All Washington D.C. train services down. I don't. I wonder if New York trains are down. They shouldn't be because they don't upgrade shit around here. I mean, it'd be funny if they fucking tried to say they didn't work because we all know the only thing they upgrade is the payment systems. That's it. Nothing else. So cold day in hell when a station gets upgraded. I mean, that shit gotta be falling apart. Gotta be. Let's see here. Oh, too bad. Hold on, guys. Ah, so annoying. All right. Apparently, the Paris Olympic Games are being affected as if anybody gives a flying fuck. Let's see here. due to faulty update by firm. Imagine that. Imagine using that. Damn. They must have paid that CEO good side hustle money. 'Cause that shit is horrible. That's a horrible excuse. Oh, okay. So if you're flying American, you good. Fixed per crowd strike at 6:17 a.m. today. Turkish Airlines said, "Fuck all y'all. We canceling everything anyway." Oh shit, man. Heathrow hit by it as well. Taiwan must rely on itself for defense against China. Oh man. I, do you guys understand like the significance of Taiwan? So because all of this AI stuff, whatever they want to call it, race, whatever have you, because of all of that, and the production of semiconductor chips is now more critical than ever, and Taiwan is where that happens primarily. So that's the significance of Taiwan. China has always laid claim to it, but Taiwan has always been like, we don't think so. But y'all know China, so it's always gonna look one way when it's another. Sounds kind of like America, and yeah, you should take a hint because that's basically what it's like. Because that's basically what it is. Alrighty. Um, whatever. Bangladesh. Oh, so there's this whole thing going on in Bangladesh. I don't know if you even know, but they wilding out. They and it's the kids. Like they're not dumb like the kids we got over here. So them kids know what time it is, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the government trying to fight them, but it ain't going too well. So shout out to them kids out there. At least that's what I see from my perspective. Yeah, one thing is true is that there were no wars. I don't remember if Afghanistan was still going on. I'm pretty sure we were still in Iraq, but we didn't. He didn't start no new shit. So yeah, at least got claim to that. Not sure that'll be the case this time around though. Don't care. Don't care. Whatever. 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 No cyber attack, but these guys got cyber attack. Scenes from airports in Atlanta, Virginia, Singapore, and Malaysia. Imagine getting caught up in this dragnet. Holy fuck. Nah. Oh boy, here we go. They talk about pandemics like every day. So I don't know why they think people are going to jump about this anymore. Something to think about. Because they keep trying every day. Up until about a week ago, it was always no masks, after a certain point in time. Now they're talking about masks again. So, I don't know what the NPCs are going to do, how they're going to react, but they're not reacting at all yet. They haven't reacted at all. You got your onesies and twosies that, they slip back into their old ways, but everybody else is like, we're good. It's hot. So we shall see how that goes on that front. Uh, let's see here. So I guess American is the only airline that's reported any updates. Interesting. Israel occupation of Palestinian territory illegal. Apparently, the ICJ is a UN court. Didn't know that. So I guess it's not really a people's court after all. Moving on. Blah, blah, blah. All right, well, that's what's going on in the international world. Four more House Dems call on this old fuck to quit. Good, 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 good stuff. Um, so Israel's been, oh, I'm saying 108 years. I'm lying my ass off. Israel, the state as you know it today, was imposed in the territory of Palestine in the year 1948. Right? So that means if you go to 1928, that's 8 years, 80 years, excuse me. So since we're in 2024, that means it's 76 years old. So it took these people, i.e., The Hague, to notice that their settlement policy, and I don't know if they mean the present one or just in general, in the occupied Palestinian territories violates international law. And that's the interesting thing about this. Are they talking about right now or in general? Because it should be in general. Ah! Oh man, too funny. All right, let's see what's going on with the economy. As you guys have probably seen, the markets are down, down and out, right? And I don't even know if the dollar's. I don't know what the dollar's doing. Let me pull up because I'm in a whole nother space nowadays. I don't even do all the. Oh, dollar is up a bit. Okay, as expected. I mean, with this price action, you got to think with the VIX up, dollars got to be up, right? So yeah, that's happening. Let's see what's going on in the financial slash current event space over the past 12 hours or so. Let's see what the goodies goodin'. There's always some weirdo willing to show their face, trying to be important. Look at me, suck my dick. I'm important. All right. Let's see here. What is this now to? Oh, nobody cares, man. All right. Is the golden age of TV series over? No one cares. Whatever. Globalist guru claims Trump reelect. Have you guys heard about this? Will mean the death of global order. Now, I don't know exactly what this dude means, but you know, Trump works for those same people. They just put a different costume on him to play a different part. I hope you people are aware. I mean, any political operative exists because they're allowed to. Nobody gets on that stage and just exists. And if they do, best believe there's a clock on that. Look around and look up the headlines. I mean, look at this headline. EU Parliament refuses to condemn Trump assassination attempt. Need anybody say more? Because what you have to understand is while the guy is what he is, they're letting you know that they don't give a fuck and your ass is next. That's the thing that people just don't want to understand about what Trump signifies, regardless of what he is. People don't want to pay attention to that. And that is going to be people's biggest error in the 21st century. Period. Nothing else will be their biggest error besides trusting any facet of government for any fucking reason. You're a fucking moron. Period. So let's keep moving. Illegal immigrants, right? So what is this right? What's the deal with this? Why is it that everywhere you look, you got people trying to leave their country to come here? Why is it that the West is hell bent on destroying other countries and forcing the people from those countries into their countries? Why is that a thing? You guys should really, really think about that. Why is it that all these other countries can be unified, pure, have their own fucking people, like Saudi Arabia, Japan, Libya? Fuck, ain't nobody's immigrating to Libya. Nobody's immigrating to Egypt. Why is it that only certain countries can be what they are and other countries cannot? And hey, I was born here. I would, if I had the option, I'd take my ass home, and I would have never established any roots here. But I gotta wait, and that's what I gotta do. Because I can feel the material difference. It's significant when I return home versus when I'm here. And yo, I'm not saying shit is better there because it's not. It's the same everywhere. But at least I know that I'm not fucking being poisoned at every goddamn turn. And it's sad for me to say, but the quality of life is just significantly better. To hell with the economics. Economics be damn. You can make your own way anywhere. Barter is a thing. So as soon as I'm free, I'm out because I don't like living in a poisoned environment. And so it's real easy math for me. I know where I'm going. But people don't like to realize the reality. The environment is the way it is because everybody likes it that way. I didn't understand it until I tried to do my part by educating others and then failing in that attempt because I didn't understand the Pareto rule works for real. And when we're talking about a gaggle fuck of people, the Pareto rule does not work in our favor, smart folks. So something seriously drastic has to happen in order to tip the scales in our way, right? Because our countries are what they are now because they've been made what they've been made. And once you open those floodgates, they're open. And these people are in here. You don't just change that, right? So you have to be aware of what's happening and why. And that's why you can't have any kind of confidence and trust, regardless of what people's ideologies are, if they're a political operator, because they refuse to conduct an assassination attempt on another human being. They think violence is okay. So don't think they won't be violent towards you. They're sending in their quote unquote illegal immigrants. I mean, let me read this headline out loud because I hadn't. Illegal immigrants successfully sue Polish border guards despite extreme violence facing officers. I mean, where the fuck did this happen and how? Are you fucking kidding me? It's a joke. Imagine you're a person in another country and you go there and you're violent with their representatives, but you sue and you win. Yo, go try that shit in China. Go try that shit in Afghanistan. Go try that shit in Pakistan. Let me know how fucking well that works. Let me know. Holy shit. I just want to see where the jurisdiction was for this case. Ain't no way this was anywhere but Europe. Polish court. Ah, naturally. So you see, you guys got to understand. You think you live in a country, and look, America is no different. I'm talking about literally every developed nation right now. Japan might be the only exception. You live in a country that is trying to eliminate you regardless of your skin color. They'll talk down white people and their own kind or whatever all day. But the fact of the matter is this is the shit that they're fucking doing. Don't let that little fucking attack on white people fool you because they're fucking lying. They're not going to get rid of themselves, motherfucker. Because guess what? They're not going to distinguish in the battlefield between one or another because they're not going to be on it. They're hoping that you do the dumb shit for them. That's why you're going to understand that you are their actual enemy. There is no white, black, brown, yellow dynamic. That's the lie that they want you to focus on. This court case right here is happening all over the Western world. In the US, no matter the big city, as long as it's Democrat ran, right? Because they're the problem. They're the problem makers at this point. They're playing that role of creating the problems that plague society at this present point in time. Republicans economically oppress, Democrats democratically oppress, if that makes sense. Socially, they oppress through their twisted social views. And the Republicans oppress through their twisted economic views. This is how they keep people on both sides of the aisle bickering and fighting against each other because we're all looking at different things. We're not looking at the same thing. So how could we be fighting about the same thing? We're just fighting. And this is how they get fucking a case in their own court involving three people not from that country who are seeking 56,000 euro. And guess what? They're going to get it. Or apparently they got it. Whatever the case is, they're going to win. And that's the reality of the Western world, yo. This is what they're doing to people in their own countries for the sake of quote unquote diversity. Because that's what they paint it as. And that's the hijack. That's the literal hijack. How am I not following this dude anymore? I thought I was following. And that's the hijack. That's important to understand. Because they're going into the workplace and trying to tell you how to think. Don't matter where you work, they're doing it. Because that's the mission, is to change how you think. So you can think what they want you to think. I mean, you got to understand there isn't even any capitalism. Even that is false. All the isms are false. It's always just how can we control these motherfuckers? There is no ism that really works because we're not allowed to operate autonomously. That's a lie. You get false choices all the time put in front of you. That's called manufactured consent because we don't control government. That's what it's supposed to be. And a very eloquent tweet because this is exactly my point. I mean, how dumb, how fucking dumb. Like I cannot even, like, there are no words for me to express how stupid this is that it happened in 2024. And I'm not even a tech geek guru, nothing. I'm not. And there is literally no excuse for the world to stop because some motherfucker's plug stopped working. But that's where we're at, folks. And guess what? It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. And that's going to continue to be the case until we, the people, decide to get involved and say, this is fucking ridiculous. How can this even fucking happen? But that's not what happens. All those people in the airport are going to go to wherever the fuck they were supposed to go eventually and just forget the nightmare instead of taking action because they were fucking there. And taking action is a lot nowadays because guess what? We've allowed these motherfuckers to run amok. And it doesn't matter where we're at. You pick a country. Where is the fucking shit not the same? I'm from the Dominican Republic. It doesn't fucking matter. It's the same crap over there as it is over here. The same thing literally needs to happen everywhere because they've destroyed society as a whole. I remember what my country was like when I was a kid. It was an amazing place to be. Now it's just another shithole, just like the US. And that only happened in a matter of 40, not even, in a matter of 15 years. Because all it took was one fucking president to say, oh, y'all want New York? We're going to give y'all New York. And they sure as hell did. Sure as hell did. And guess what? That motherfucker got Swiss bank accounts, well known and all that. He ain't doing no time. In fact, he might even be president again here soon enough. Because this is where we are as a society. We just don't give a fuck about ourselves. So until the point comes where people realize they need to start giving a fuck, and the breaking point is going to be different for everybody. I mean, that's just what's going to continue to happen. Today is all flight paths in the world. Tomorrow, it's the world that's going to just be shut down, blacked out. You're just going to wake up and you're just going to not have any internet. And that's just going to be what it's going to be. Then what? Then you're going to try to go use the train and try to go somewhere and try to go do this. And you're just not going to. It's going to be like, what's the name? What's the name of that movie? Uh, the one, God damn it. Thing. The one with the tanker where it washed up ashore. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't need the name. You guys seen it. That's what it is. Because that's what's really happening. And the thing about it is that they're doing it slowly so that you don't feel like it's just boom out of nowhere. But this isn't the first time something like this happens. Something like this happened a while ago, probably a couple of months after that movie came out. So this pattern is becoming prevalent. And my claim here is that if we don't start speaking up and forcing these buffoons to do their fucking job, we're not going to be able to do it because we don't have the skill set. So then what? We're going to be back to chartering fucking boats and shit. Because that's the alternative. Because you don't own the plane. And unless you do, what are the odds you're going to be able to get it up in the air? Somebody might be ready to shoot your shit down because you're not authorized to fly, motherfucker. Oh, you thought you were just going to do what you wanted, huh? Nah, because you already let that ship sail. And that's my point. So people really need to get real critically thinking hard right now. This should be good. Hold on. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
I went up there at 5:08 p.m. and the office was completely empty. At that time, one worker turned up. He wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't talk to me.
As you guys can see, uh, can you guys even hear me? Yeah, I think you guys can hear me. Somehow apparently it's still 40 people watching. I don't know what happened. My internet stopped working. Um, but hey, I was able to get it back up and running again. Uh, oh, I think I just heard myself in the background. Let me mute that. That sounds horrible. All right. So yeah, guys, that's what we got to contend with. So be ready for the analog life. It might be coming back sooner than we thought. Cause why not? Apparently. Oh man. I mean, hey, I liked it better anyway. So you won't hear me being mad. Uh, but yeah, just guys, keep your head on a swivel. Remember that it's just about getting you to react. So don't. Real simple. But I'm gonna jump off this. Thank you guys for your time today. Sorry for the technical issue. It threw me off though, so I can't really finish my train of thought. I can't remember what the hell I was talking about. But just be mindful of what's going on and be ready for a bump back in time, I guess, if it comes. I don't know. I don't know. But be ready for everything because why not? I'm out, peeps. Peace. This is Wales Only. Glad you guys can make it out. I'm making some claims that are pretty outlandish, but I can back them up. Boom. End of story. There is no other crypto out there, so don't get it twisted. If you don't understand where you're parking your money, you're gonna pay the consequences for that, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Boom. We're obliterating everybody, literally. There is nobody else that comes close to what Hex has done. Boom. Oh, it's about to get funky. Funkier than you could have ever imagined. Richard Hart is a boss. Hex is literally the best thing on the planet. It